I'm in Kopf, and I'd like to say this reunion was my idea, but really it came from Jeanne Robinson and Barb Cernik and my talking at a shack reunion last fall of '87, about what fun this might be to see these people again. I have never cared about reunions. I have never been one to look back on any part of my life and say, gee, I wish I was back there again, because so far everything I've tried was better than the thing before, but this is a little bit different. I don't think any of us wish we were back here again, but I think all of us realize how special this was in working together and doing something that by all reasonable standards no one should be able to do, which is start your own theater. I don't know if it could be done today either, but I think it would have in a town like this. I think it could be, because the town helped us so much, and that's part of what was unique about Arena Fair, because the people came right here and stood out here at intermissions, and we came out in our costumes, and we talked to them, and we encouraged townspeople to work on plays and to help us, and they loaned us their clothes, and they gave us their money, but mostly they came to the shows, and a lot of the time, most of the time, we were either sold out or close to it, and that really means that we gave something that the town wanted. I also think a lot of us learned compromise here, because teamwork is really what theater is all about. I don't know any other endeavor that's so much of team play. And each of us has gone on to other jobs or other careers, but teamwork is something that has helped us no matter what career we've gone into the rest of our lives.
My name is John Weckesser.
What years were you associated with the Arena Fair, John?
I was one of the founding members in '61, and then '62, came back in '64, and then ran it from '65 to, managed it from '65 to 1968.
What does Arena Fair mean to you? Can you tell?
Probably the most profound memories I have of going to school at the College of Worcester and Worcester period, the whole Worcester experience, if you want to call it that, was Arena Fair. The people that I met, worked with, and have really became lifelong friends and associates. It also, it made my career decision. I decided that I would go into theater management as opposed to acting. And basically, that's what I've done with my life. And this theater and the people associated with it helped me make that decision.
The complete breach of all reason that allowed a group of college kids with no background, no fiscal background, no management background.
That's right.
With only
no understanding of business whatsoever, no money. We should have been home mowing lawns.
That's right. Working on our college education
right.
over the summer.
Right. Here was the '60s. And we could have been demonstrating, doing something beneficial for mankind.
We chose not to.
That's right. We chose to be creative, artistic.
You directed the opening one, Auntie-Mame. That was the very first show.
I don't remember much.
My great story from Auntie-Mame was I was lying as O'Banion at the beginning of the second act, I can remember, and Agnes Gooch was typing.
That's right.
And a little woman leaned over while I was there, and she said, I just wanted to tell you you're doing so well, and we're so happy that you started in theater here.
I remember that. I remember we had a problem getting drinks that Auntie-Mame served to catch fire.
Oh, that's right.
Do you remember? We should get Barbara Cernik out to talk about this. I think Chuck and Barb had a problem with that or something. Remember, we had to put lighter fluid on top of the drinks.
Yeah, we did it the wrong way.
Then Judy French would waltz around with fireplace matches, light it,
and run back because we didn't know how big the
we didn't know how they were going to flame.
Accompanying explosion.
Some of them fizzled, and that was a pretty exciting time.
And the long hours. I mean, it was amazing the amount of time that we really put in. And,
everybody got about 3 hours of sleep.
The opening of Mame, we could not sit on the stools in the first act because they weren't dry.
Because they weren't dry.
I remember asking Bill, what are we going to do? We said, change. He told us how to change the blocking. So
I remember when we did Bell, Book, and Candle, we had a Siamese cat ran away in the middle of the performance. But that was only an additional complexity because half the cast had deathly ill.
That's right. But I remember kissing in the final scene of that when we're supposed to have the cat, and just as Ann and I kissed the cat.
Yep.
Okay, we should only wish all theatrical students the opportunity to take on such a challenge as we did.
Yeah.
Because it's made us what we are today.
That's right. Phenomenally.
And I remember I was the only one that was
Totally
21.
irresponsible.
I was the only one who could sign documents.
That's right. That's right.
So
I
that
didn't know that.
That's right. I must be a little bit older than you, Chuck.
You signed a lot.
I'll be 50
Yeah,
this
because I remember calling home, my dad said, "You're doing what?
Yeah,
You're signing what? Do
You signed documents that no one in his right mind should ever have signed at that time.
And I think we have to...
Okay. I'm Barbara Cernik, Megery. I was here in '61, one of the founders, in '62 and part of '63. I'm just happy to have a reunion and have everybody come back. It was an important experience, and I don't know. I'd get emotional if I really said anything more than that.
Thank you.
Chuck Livermore. I was one of the founders in 1961. It was one of the great experiences of my life. I had responsibility for getting the actual audience design, where they were going to sit. And every time we'd send something to the state, they would send it back saying something about it was wrong. And even down to the last few weeks, I was concerned that we were actually going to be able to seat people in there without the fire marshals coming and holding us. Great time, and next reunion, you all have to come. I live in New York, I can bring a carpool out.
Taping.
I'm Brooke Creswell. I know me. I'm in Yakima, Washington, and I'm conducting an orchestra.
What years were you with Arena Fair?
Arena Fair 1961 and 1964.
What do you remember most?
Most? Being exhausted. Working my ass off, along with everybody else. And now realizing how extremely important those 4 summers were to the rest of us.
Hi. I'm Jeanne Robinson Noble. I was in Arena Fair the very first year. Helped to do everything. I think I was chosen for my acting ability.
Yes, you were.
I hope so.
Tell us some parts you liked that year.
My favorite was Our Town, working with Brooke. It's a wonderful play. I never realized how good a play it was until I was in it. I think you learn something new about a play when you're inside of it. Same thing happened in a few other plays. But Our Town was definitely my favorite.
I am Wynn Logan, and I stretched back to the origin of this place, so I discouraged them from doing it. I bemoaned it, I predicted their failure, and I stood to admire 9 years of it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
But it was a wonderful, wonderful thing, and I had a lot of fun down here, both as audience and participant. You know, and I was trying to think, I don't think I ever directed anything down here, but I was in about 3 or 4 of them.
You were an inspiration that got this whole thing started for many of us, yes indeed.
Inspiration is an awfully nice title to
Yes.
have, even if it may be a little bit on hyperbole. But, gee, I recall all the people working so hard, the seats coming in,
Yep.
the struggle with the good people of the Grange to renew contracts, Louis Carter's generosity,
Letting us run up a huge lumber bill.
a lumber bill, but you know, when I look back at it, it's a remarkable theater to be able to do what you did and the caliber that
Well, we
sustained.
kind of think so too.
It had a few low points, but for 9 years it ran. And you know, it was really, the coup de grace came with a flood. You weren't here, Annie.
No, I wasn't.
But the great flood came in and ruined all the costumes that had been amassed, collected, and kept in pretty good shape. Plus, I think it plunged a difficult proposition. But the fact that you did it and continued it without the great sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Theaters today require budgets of thousands and never can say they can succeed.
Right.
So it was great.
Thank you very much, Wynn.
And what a great idea for the reunion.
Thank you.
To see these people.
I'm Jean Logan, Wynn Logan's wife, and I participated mainly as a member of the audience.
We loved you too. We needed you too.
Thought it was great fun.
Thank you. Who's this gentleman?
Well, I guess it's Ted Williams.
Ted Williams, professor of chemistry.
I came back to build a set and print some postcards off for Arena Fair.
How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Tim Weckesser. I was here from the beginning until 68 and 69. I think I only missed 2 years, but the first year I was in high school, the second year in high school I sort of dabbled around.
Memorable roles.
Oh, Fantastic's Father of the Boy, and Clive in
Five-Finger Exercise. Yes, indeed.
And there were a lot of musicals, but those were the most memorable.
Thank you.
Rich Jones, 1965, Music Man.
Becky Jones, backup.
What else did you do, Rich? Tell us a few others.
Game. 66,
And
Oklahoma. 68, Carousel.
thank you guys. Thank you guys. Yep.
Oh, hi, my name is Bill Chapman. I live in Santa Fe, New Mexico now. And I was here in 1963, 5, and 8 as both an actor and director. Wish you all were here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Sara Shearer. I came from LA to this reunion. I loved Worcester. I was here in 1966, 1967. And I do remember trying to ad-lib in Shakespearean verse as Don Cherry forgot his cue and was running around the theater. But I have other lovely memories of this town and the theater. I loved it.
Thank you.
I'm Ray McCall, College of Worcester. I acted in 4 shows with Arena Fair. I was second drunk in She Stoops to Conquer. So my biggie was Dr. Kitchell and The Bells Are Ringing, the very last show done by Arena Fair in